Come on down to Kingdom Hair on Church Street, Bastille for all your hair accessories and supplies. At Kingdom Hair, you get the best in braids, weaves, wigs, accessories, barber supplies, manicure and pedicure supplies, and cosmetics. We take it to another level with electrical items, hair products, and salon furniture. Our customer service is second to none and is seen from the very moment you enter our store. All at Kingdom Hair in the Charles Wilkin Building on Church Street, Bastille. Telephone number 466-8727. Kingdom Hair, your beauty supply store.
The Joycelyn Library Primary School and the Charlestown Primary School both created history on Wednesday night, becoming the first schools to win the Gulf Insurance Primary School Championships, held for the first time at the newly minted Nevis Athletic Stadium. This was the first event to be held at the stadium located at Long Point, Nevis, and the first time the student athletes competed on a synthetic rubber track, as opposed to the grass track at Grove Park where the event was held for the previous 25 outings. The Joycelyn Library Primary School and the Charlestown Primary School both tied on 181 points, while last year's champions St. Thomas's Primary School were third with 168 points. The Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School won the B division of the competition. After the last race, the 4x400 meter relay won by the Charlestown Primary School, the athletes and supporters began celebrating as they knew that result was enough to give them the win. But a few minutes later, the announcers announced, after receiving the official results, that the Joycelyn Library Primary School also won, having the same number of points as Charlestown. The school from Gingerland suddenly began celebrating. Coach Kervin Wallace of the Joycelyn Library Primary School was absolutely elated with his team's triumph.
Well, let me first say I just want to thank God because we prayed, God delivered. It's a joint win, but He still helped us to win. The children performed well. I mean, you probably saw the relays. We did well in the relays, we did well in the hundreds. We didn't do too well in some of the races, but overall, the children performed well. I'm happy. My heart is overwhelmed, overjoyed. Congratulations to the children. They ran their heart out, even though sometimes we thought we were hard on them. So I'm really happy. The first time on the track, the first win, it's a joyous feeling. And for me, being a past athlete, a past Olympian, I'm just happy.
Principal of the Charlestown Primary School, Latoya Jeffers, did not seem to mind sharing the championship with the school from Gingerland.
Well, I'm very happy and I'm very pleased. We came with a mission. We came from 4th place to 1st place and I'm very proud and I'm very happy that the children came out and represented. We wanted to create history on this track and that's what we did today.
And your thoughts about the new stadium and the way your athletes competed on the new stadium?
Oh, it's spectacular and I'm very happy that the children were able to come out and perform like true champions. It seemed as though they were here before.
Meanwhile, Jamira Claxton of the Department of Sports, organizer of the meet, was very satisfied with the outcome of the first event at the state-of-the-art venue.
I'm very proud of the athletes, I'm very proud of the organizer, the fans today. Everything went very well today. For the first event, it was awesome. I appreciate all the support from all the different stakeholders who came to make this possible. So kudos to everybody involved.
Now, the outcome, I mean, unusual, but something extraordinary to see two schools tie.
Exactly, and these are two of the schools who would have dominated this competition over the years. For this to happen on the first event at the Mondo track, I mean, you couldn't write a script that's this perfect. So it was a great ending. Two schools who really performed well today, so both deserve champions.
It was a tight battle among the top 3 schools in this year's competition, as defending champions St. Thomas's Primary School were off to a quick start. But it was not before long the Charlestown Primary School made an early assault on the title. The team from the capital town soon tied with St. Thomas's Primary School on points midway through the meet, and by the end of the day had built just enough to take the lead. But the Joycelyn Library Primary School made a sudden surge, getting good results in the 100 meters, 800 meters and the 4x100 meter relays to launch a bid for the top spot. It was no surprise that they did enough to tie for the title. The Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School finished 4th on 128 points, the Ira Walters Primary School 5th with 94 points, the Maud Cross Prep School on 62 points in 6th place, the Bollitt Jeffers Elizabeth Primary School in 7th place on 41 points, and the St. James's Primary School in 8th place with 9 points. SK Newsline sister media entity, Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net, broadcast the meet live for the first time. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.